presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Wisconsin.
Have a happy Father's Day to my dad. You know, he taught me a bunch of lessons in life. You know, and I'm a dad now of a 1-year-old, so I'm trying to put that to use as best as I can. But thank you for all the lessons. I love you very much, and happy Father's Day.
Hey, Jeff Knable. I wanted to wish you happy Father's Day and let you know I love you and I appreciate everything you've done for me. Hope it's a great one, Dad.
You always take me to the stadium to play baseball. I remember when I tell you I don't want to play baseball, you tell me, yes, I want you to play baseball because you're going to be a big league player. And I never forget that moment. I love you, Dad. I love you so much. Happy Father's Day.
And what a special Father's Day it is. And on this Father's Day, Major League Baseball supports the Home Run Challenge for prostate cancer research and awareness. Welcome from beautiful Miller Park. It is the Padres and the Brewers, the rubber game and the final game of this series. And dads with their kids, granddads with their children and their grandchildren all over the ballpark today. We say happy Father's Day to all of you. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us today. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you, Bill. And we want to think about all those that are maybe experiencing a loss on Father's Day, too. We're thinking about you. And there's something special about being at the ballpark and having Father's Day is that special moment.
Yeah, no kidding. I talked to my dad today, Pete, in Pennsylvania. He was my role model. He was the guy that convinced me to be a catcher. I didn't want to put that gear on, but he convinced me when I was 7 years old, and I'm awfully glad that he convinced me to do that.
Principal Pete, and happy Father's Day to my dad, Dave, and my stepfather, Gary, as well. Well, we're wearing these wristbands because it is prostate cancer awareness and research, and the Brewers are like the symbolic team of this because you're not only getting money for home runs, but strikeouts, and the Brewers are connecting on both fronts. How about this series we've had?
Well, it's just amazing. I mean, all the home runs. It's not a surprise that the Brewers are hitting the home runs. You know, they're second in the National League in home runs, but the Padres are pitching in as well. 15 home runs. Just about every one of the runs in this series is because of the home run ball. Only one, and that was a run scored by the Padres in yesterday's ball game. Guys are red hot. Broxton's swinging the bat well. Eric Daines is on some kind of a roll. So we'll see what happens today. Couldn't pick a better weekend to hit a lot of home runs because it's going to mean money for prostate research.
Well, 23 runs in this series, 22 courtesy of the home run ball. And for the Brewers, they now have 13 straight runs scored via the homer, which is one off a franchise record. Maybe we'll see that here today on Father's Day. We have raised $45 million across Major League Baseball for PCF, the Home Run Challenge. It is on again today, and we'll get into a couple of those big home run hitters when we continue from Miller Park. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. By Hupy and Abraham, voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham, tell them you mean business. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. What a beautiful day for baseball. Wind is blowing, roof is open, and are we going to see some more home runs today? We've been talking about the home run ball, and Eric Thames and Keon Broxton are front and center in that category.
Yeah, we talk about Eric Thames. I mean, I think it's an understatement to say that he's a guy that hits them in bunches, 4 consecutive games, and big ones at that. Incredible for Eric Thames. I mean, every one of his home runs as of late have been huge home runs for the Brewers, and one of the reasons why they've been playing so well. Keon Broxton is hot as well. Keon, another guy, when he gets hot, he can carry an offense. He's had home runs in 3 consecutive games and 5 home runs in his last 7 games. So when both of these guys get it going, good things happen for the Brewers offense.
5 homers last 7 and 11 ribbies for Broxton. More of the same on Father's Day. We'll find out. It's the series finale. The Brew Crew and the Padres lineups. First pitch coming your way next.
Playing on Father's Day is something that really hits home to me. You know, my dad has been a very important role in my baseball career, so getting to play in front of him on Father's Day is really a dream come true for me. A lot of kids have grown up and started playing catch with their father, and that's how they were introduced to the game of baseball, so that's why it's special to me.
My dad's been a huge inspiration of getting me to where I am today. I follow him, I marvel after him. He was a great mentor to just develop me to who I am and who I ultimately want to be.
My dad, you know, I have to credit him with teaching me, you know, my process, my work ethic. He's such an integral part in where I am today, so I love you, Dad. Thank you, and happy Father's Day.
Sentiments shared by all. So glad you could be with us today on this Father's Day. Good crowd here at Miller Park. Brewers trying to win a series and send the Padres packing. Ironic we have the fathers here on Father's Day. The San Diego Padres ready to play ball today as Jimmy Nelson deals his first pitch of the ball game, and a big swing and a miss by Alec Cordova, and we're underway. All the teams around Major League Baseball with the powder blue trimmings around their uniforms to celebrate Father's Day and to raise funds and awareness for the PCF, Prostate Cancer Foundation. There's a bunt. Nelson fields it. Tough play. Fires to first, and it is not in time. Close play.
Might see a review of this play. Pretty good play by Jimmy to bounce off the mound and get it off to first base. Sometimes it takes Jimmy a while to get off that mound and make a play, but he's making this play pretty well. Bare hands it. Off balance throw. Well, that's going to be close.
Yeah, I think he might have got him. First base umpire over there.
I think he's out.
Is Ramon de Jesus, and this will go to a challenge. So counsel is going to make an official challenge, and this has a good chance to be overturned for the first out of the game. So here we are, just underway, Rock, and we already go to the headsets.
Yep, and you know, Jimmy Nelson's been throwing the baseball pretty well. 4 runs, 5 2/3 last time out in Game 2 against the Cardinals. And Brewers would win that ball game. Got a no decision, making career start number 6 against the Padres. And I would imagine this is not going to take very long. At least you wouldn't think so.
They just showed it on the big board, and I'm always interested in the reaction of the umpire as they see the replays. And Ramon de Jesus, he makes a call. He wants to get them all right.
Right, no kidding.
And you have the safety net of replay challenge, but he certainly.
But you know what? These umpires, they have no reaction when they look at the scoreboard. I mean, it's
stone-faced.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what you have to be.
So the crew chief, Paul Immel, will be the one to relay the official call. It's out of the hands of the umpires here on the field at this point. Just to refresh your memory, there is an umpire assigned to this game, not named, and they don't release that information to us, but he's in there checking these replays, and he'll give the official word.
Now, explain to me why it's taken so long, because it looks on that replay right there like they had him out.
I don't know, maybe it's the beginning of the game and they're on a little bit of a break, thinking there wouldn't be a replay this early in the day.
Maybe they're not there yet.
Maybe they're locked out. Perhaps the elevator is stuck.
Maybe borrow somebody from an East Coast game.
I mean, there's a lot of explanations you could have here.
I mean, he's out. I mean, it was a close play, bang bang. You can understand why, you know, de Jesus, the first base umpire, called him safe, but you know, on the replay, it looked like he was out.
Well, here comes the answer, and he is out, and the call is overturned. So one batter in, we've got a challenge and a call that's overturned, and counsel will continue with one challenge the rest of the game. So Craig, counsel has a very similar thought pattern as you, I believe. What took so long?
Yeah, no kidding. I mean,
2 minutes on the official.
Yeah, Craig lost the review, a challenge at the end of yesterday's game. A fair or foul call.
So Nelson facing Franchi Cordero. By the way, lost in that was the outstanding play of Jimmy Nelson. He's not a guy that's so nimble around the mound, not known for his fielding prowess, but that was a big league play there.
Yeah, big guy, bounced off, barehanded it, a little off balance, but able to go off a good throw.
Now, he's been a horse. Big man from the University of Alabama, 6'6", has great stuff. He's calmed down his mechanics a great deal from last year to this year. You see, it's a bit of a modified stretch position that he starts with, and Rock, that has been a big hit for Jimmy Nelson, and something that he discussed at length last year with pitching coach Derek Johnson.
Well, his velocity's up, walks are down, strikeouts are up. You know, 19 walks, 75 strikeouts coming in.
He gets in on the hands of Cordero. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Potawatomi batting order. You've seen Cordoba. Cordero hits second, then Myers, Solarte, Renfroe, and Spangenberg. Bottom of the 3 for Andy Green is Ibar, Torrens, and Perdomo. First start of the series for Luis Torrens. A ton of home runs in this series for both teams. 15 combined, as a matter of fact. And a swing and a miss. Nelson with his first strikeout. Got him on a breaking ball.
Yeah, check out the Menards Brewers defense. We got Lewis Brinson out in left field. He did not get a start in yesterday's game. Broxton red hot with the home run ball. Perez out in right. Santana gets today off. Shaw, Arcia, Sogard, Thames. Same infield in the first 2 games of this series. And Manny Pena behind home plate.
Well, there's Lewis Brinson getting a big league start on Father's Day. Had the day off yesterday. We did see him in a pinch hit appearance. Brewers' #1 prospect. Will Myers with 2 away. He's been the big bat. He and Yangervis Solarte have done big damage in this series thus far. He's hit 2 homers. They have been tape measure shots. The first one hit high up off the scoreboard in center field. And yesterday's home run tied the game at 3. Hit that home run off Chase Anderson in the 6th inning.
Yeah, this guy and the guy on deck, Solarte, 2 guys you want to try to avoid having to throw strikes to late in the game. Solarte's been red hot. He's been killing the Brewers in this series.
2 homers yesterday. 2-0 the count on Myers. On the ground, ate him up with a fastball. Arcia can't find the handle. And Myers, who runs well, will reach. And we'll see how they score that one. Arcia has committed errors in each of the last 2 games. One of the more sure-handed shortstops in the game right now, and he's in a little bit of a defensive funk.
Yeah, this one not able to get the handle on it, and it might be an error. Could be a base hit. Could go either way. Keep in mind that Myers runs very well, so that might have something to do with why Arcia felt like he had to be quick.
No official ruling just yet. Official score this afternoon is Tim O'Driscoll. So Myers is on, 2 outs in the inning, and here comes Solarte. Big swing and a miss. Gets ahead of him.
And fastball, slider, 4-seamer, 2-seam fastballs for Jimmy. He'd been very good. And the one sure way you can determine whether his location has been good, he hasn't hit many batters this year. I mean, typically he leads the league or up there near the top of leading the league and hit batters. He has not done that this year.
And Nelson led all of baseball and hit batters a season ago. Backdoor breaking ball is in there for a strike. By the way, Rock, they scored that as a base hit on Myers. Keep your book clean. Infield single, no error for Arcia. So Myers at first, a base stealing threat. 0-2 the count on Solarte. 3 hits in this series. They have all been home runs. Nelson probably playing without a net, at least a full complement of a net in the bullpen. Craig Counsell telling us before the game there's going to be a number of pitchers that he would rather not use today, which would probably tell you that there's some pitchers that will not pitch. Managers never like giving up that information.
Yeah, too many close games and using a lot of his relievers on a daily basis, and every now and again that catches up to you, and all of a sudden you're in a situation like they're in today where guys just need a day off. No ifs, ands, or buts. They can't throw every day.
One day leads to the next. Counsell did say he can get multiple innings out of Josh Hader if he needs to. He said his ideal setting would be Nelson for 7. Well, obviously Nelson to go the distance, but if not, Nelson for 7, Hader for 2, win the game, win the series. Go have fun with your kids. Solarte in the air, shallow left center, long run in for Broxton, and he'll run it down. And the inning is over, and we are off and running on Father's Day, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Eric Dames has homered in 4 straight. Can he make it 5 in a row? Brewers coming up for the first time. afternoon on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Padres failed to score in the first. Jimmy Nelson giving up an infield hit in that inning. And now the Brewers coming to bat. Potawatomi brings you the Craig Counsell lineup. Eric Sogard, Eric Thames, then Hernan Perez. In the middle go Shaw, Pena, and Broxton, with Brinson, Arcia, and Nelson rounding out the starting nine against Padres starter Luis Perdomo.
Yeah, second year with the Padres for Perdomo out of the Dominican Republic. He was 9-10 last year and a .571 earned run average. Finally picked up his first win of the year his last time out against Cincinnati.
Pitched well against the Reds. And what did you see from him in his first start against the Brewers? He's can be a strikeout pitcher, Perdomo, and the Brewers are striking out a lot here lately.
Really good breaking ball. He's got two different breaking pitches, curveball, slider, and he had a good one in San Diego.
Eric Sogard leads away for the Crew. Jonathan Villar continues on the disabled list with a back injury, back spasms. They're hoping to get Jonathan back soon, hopefully by the end of the month of June. Ryan Braun is on his way back as well. We could see Braun on the homestand. There's no timetable for his return, but he's participating in all activities. I think that ball's got handles on it. Yeah, get rid of it. Must be out of round. Oh, see, clearly out of round, Rock.
He won.
Nice punt. Gonna be a tough play. Barehanded throw to first, gets away, and now Sogard off to the races. Will end up at second. Spangenberg got a ball out of round two and fired it off the wall. And that'll be a hit and an error for Eric Sogard to start the game.
Yeah, get rid of that one too. They just threw that one in the Padres dugout. Well, good bunt by Sogard. Throw not even close to first base. Myers, good dive, but not able to get it. So the Brewers off and running here in the first inning. With a man at second, nobody out.
Sogard doing a dance over there. The ball would initially bounce, looked like it was going to bounce right back to Solarte, the second baseman. But once Sogard got his bearings, he ends up at second base. Infield hit and an E5. And here is Eric Thames. What a ride he's on right now. Thames leads the National League in homers with 20. Top 5 in the National League in homers, slugging percentage, runs, top 5 in walks, OPS, and extra base hits. What a year. Little tapper. Sogard has to hold his ground. And Thames is retired for the first out.
Let's check out the Padres Menards defense for today. You got Cordoba, Cordero, and Renfroe in the outfield. You got to say that slowly. Spangenberg, Ibar getting his first start in the series at shortstop. Solarte, Myers on the right side. Those two guys have been swinging a hot bat. And Torrens behind home plate. Austin Hedges caught first 2 games of the series.
Hedges, one of the better young catchers in the big leagues. Day game after night game. There they are. Cordoba, Cordero. Took us a few games to get that all straight, but now we're good.
Yeah, I thought it was the same guy for, first game of the series.
Cordoba's actually been playing shortstop in this series, which helps. He's in left field today. And you might remember the walk-off home run by Thames. It was Cordoba and Cordero that were converging on that ball together. Cordoba ended up in the outfield for that last inning. Hernan Perez at the plate. Continues to hit third when he's in the lineup in the absence of Ryan Braun. Today, Perez is in right field. He has had starts at 6 different positions this season. What a valuable member he's been. That ball's deep to left, but it is hooking and well foul. Perez didn't even leave the box. He knew that was going to be foul. Good catch. Got to be his first one.
Yeah.
He's playing it up.
Very humble, too.
Dad, give me the ball, Dad. Give him the ball, Dad. He better give that ball to his kid.
You don't have to act like you've done it before if you've never done it before. Right?
Right. You just sit down, hand the ball to your son, and say, that's the way we roll around here, boy.
Yeah. Maybe next time.
There's a big hop over to Spangenberg, and this throw is good. And out number 2. Two gone against Perdomo. I think he's still got the ball.
He's not giving it up either.
Just hand that over. All right, you're officially on the watch, sir. How many innings is it going to take him to give that ball up? It's a good catch, though. I guess if there was one day you were going to keep a ball, it would be on Father's Day.
I was going to say, it's Father's Day, son. It's mine.
Son, sorry. There's a lesson in this, boy. I'd love to give you the ball, but you haven't earned it today.
I told you to bring your glove.
Instead, you have that camera. Travis Shaw with a runner at second. And a bouncing ball to third base. Plenty of time for Spangenberg. And Myers able to keep a toe on the bag. Out is the call. I'm sure counsel will want to take a quick peek at this one. Otherwise, the inning will end. Pat Murphy on the phone. Too tough to tell there.
Yeah, it looks like too close.
And so they'll wave it off. No challenge. To the second we go. We're off and running on Father's Day at Miller Park. San Diego Padres, Milwaukee Brewers. Last game of the series. Brewers sitting in first place in the National League Central. Lost last night. Record is 37-33. And they've split the first 2 games in this series. 2 extra inning games, as a matter of fact. Brewers won in walk-off fashion on Friday and then lost last night. That's a hit by pitch to start the inning as Renfroe just got grazed across the uniform. And a lead batter will reach base against Jimmy Nelson.
And this one gets a piece of Renfroe. Just got a piece of the jersey.
We were just talking about Jimmy Nelson and his lack of hit batters this year. Hasn't always been a bad thing for him. He is, let's call it, effectively wild. He can certainly put that thought in a hitter's head. And at 95, 96 miles an hour, that's a significant thought.
Yeah, just when we said he doesn't hit many batters, right? That's a 5th batter he's hit this year.
That's on you.
He's been in the upper teens every year.
Yeah.
You know, as a Brewer. I mean, not afraid to come inside, but he's still coming inside.
17 last year.
But more effectively. I mean, not getting it too far inside.
Spangenberg with a big cut. He hit a home run last night, proved to be the game-winning home run. Padres hit 2 in the 10th inning last night and would win the game 7-5. They are now 28-41. Jose Torres got the win last night, the lefty out of the bullpen. Oliver Drake took the loss for Milwaukee. And Phil Maton notched his first big league save. A strike on the edge. 1-2 the count.
And a little off that corner. Quinn Walcott, a generous strike zone so far today. Nothing wrong with that on Father's Day. Not that that has anything to do with it, but I just figured I'd throw it in there.
Oh, there's a lot to do with it. There's a path for an enjoyable Father's Day with a big strike zone, believe me. That one's outside for a ball. Well, maybe these guys will be up there to swing the bat a little bit. They'll hack early. Good pace to the game, right? That's what you want. Two and two the count on the Padre third baseman, Spangenberg. Got him. Nelson strikes him out, his second punch out.
Yep, got him on a slider. Yeah, the slider, the curveball has been very good for Jimmy. You see that pitch, kind of a hanger, but Spangenberg with a big swing underneath it. Actually over the top of it, and that was up in the zone.
Falls into the so bad it was good category.
Yeah.
Spangenberg looked like he recognized it, was waiting for the big drop, and it never did. Just spun up there, and Nelson gets a strikeout. A great lesson. Not all bad pitches get hit. Not all good pitches end up as outs.
Right.
So one away with a runner at first for Eric Ibar, 12-year vet, one of the few veteran players the Padres have on this roster. Longtime Angel. He was a bust in Atlanta last year, finding a home here with the Padres as the mentor of this young group of players. We've seen Ibar twice in pinch hitting roles first 2 days. His first start of the series. Nelson looking for a double play ball here. When he's right, he'll get a lot of ground balls.
And that two-seam fastball, more like the power sinker. A good ground ball pitch. Brewers turn a ton of double plays.
Always a good news, bad news stat. That means there are a lot of base runners on. But the Brewers have been effective getting 2 outs with 1 swing of the bat. And you have a number of pitchers who do get a lot of ground balls like Nelson. There's a strike, 3-1. 28-year-old Jimmy Nelson. This is start number 14 for him. He pitched Tuesday in the second game of the doubleheader in St. Louis. Not his best, but he hung in there through 5 2/3. There's a swing and a miss. 3-2.
That's a good two-seamer we were just talking about.
That night in St. Louis, won the next 2 to win the series 3 out of 4, and then won the opener of this Padres series. Runner goes, huge jump, and it's ball 4. And it'll be first and second with 1 man out. Nelson not paying any attention to Hunter Renfroe.
Well, it's finally here. Tomorrow night it is the Eric Thames t-shirt giveaway at Miller Park. The Brewers open up a 4-game set against the Pirates, and all fans in attendance get an Eric Thames Revere the Beard t-shirt courtesy of BP Come On Back Club. Great seats are still available at brewers.com.
Now don't forget, tomorrow first pitch is 6:40. Monday, Tuesday games this year are starting a half hour earlier. And it'll be Matt Garza on the mound tomorrow against the Pirates' Garrett Cole. who is their ace, but not pitching like their ace right now at 4-6 and a 4.5 ERA. On the air at 6 o'clock. First pitch 6:40. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Tomorrow, game 1 against the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Man, strikeouts really down for Cole this year. Matt Garza at last pitch against the Cardinals.
So a visit to the mound by Derek Johnson. And Nelson finds himself in a little bit of trouble here in the second. 2 on, 1 away. The 8th place hitter at the plate, Luis Torrens. Backup catcher to Austin Hedges.
This is certainly one of those days where Jimmy Nelson, I mean, imperative that he manages that pitch count so he can get a little deeper than normal into a game. 5 2/3 last time out against the Cardinals. Like Greg Counsell wants at least Nelson to get into the 6th, maybe into the 7th today. But that's going to be dependent upon that pitch count.
Ibar walked. Up ahead of him, Renfroe, who was hit by a pitch. And Nelson looking for that double play ball. He does have the pitcher due up next. There's a way out of this inning for Jimmy. And there's a ground ball. Sogard's got it. Spins, fires to Arcia. Bullet to first in time, and a double play. Eric Ibar at second base is alerting his bench that Arcia might not have touched the bag. So we're going to have a look at this one. Ibar's convinced he is safe. He's not leaving second base.
There's a pretty good pivot right here. It looked like he might have scraped the back of the bag. Let's check it out. The drag right here. Does he get it? Oh, he got it.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Eric. That's fake news right there, Eric.
You're better than that.
Are coming up on a beautiful Sunday in Milwaukee. Eric Ibar maybe trying to spur on a little controversy, but in fact Arcia touched the bag. That's a big double play for Jimmy Nelson. Gets the double play from the 8th place hitter, which means the pitcher will now lead off.
Arcia was having some fun with him between innings.
Arcia was barking at his shortstop mate. It all works, but we have videotape now. I think it certainly gave Jimmy Nelson a little bit of a scare. Manny Pena, a base hit into center field. And the Pineapple Express strikes again Guy's having a good run right now. Bandy's been struggling, the other Brewers catcher, and Pena's picked up the load. This is between innings. Ibar and Arcia. Say, you want to dance? This guy.
Great. What do you got? Over 10 years in between these two guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ibar's been in the league 12 years. Arcia was 10 years old when Ibar first came into the major leagues. He has a lot of fun at the ballpark. He's a thrill to watch every day. Same guy. Happy to be here. Here's Broxton now. Keon's on quite the run at this point. His last 7 games, he's hit 5 homers, has 11 RBIs. First 58 games of the year, he hit 6 home runs and 16 RBIs. So this is a significant streak. There are some strikeouts in the last 7 as well, but not just home runs, Rock. He's had the knack for the clutch home run as well. 2 game-tying long balls the last 2 days.
Yeah, we talked about it, you know, in the pregame show. You know, it's not so much, you know, the adjustments with the swing itself. It's more pitch selection for Keon. Get the baseball down in the zone. A lot of times, much easier said than done.
One ball, one strike. Perdomo from the stretch, and Broxton able to lay off.
Yeah, that pitch right there was a money pitch for Perdomo in San Diego. He's having a difficult time throwing it for strikes today, at least so far.
Pena at first, and Broxton lays off. 2 balls and a strike. The Brewers got Broxton in a bit of an under the radar deal prior to last season with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Remember Jason Rogers? He was the player the Brewers traded to get Broxton, and it was essentially a trade in a position of strength as Broxton rifles one to right field, a base hit. Pena will turn and stop as the throw comes all the way in. And back-to-back singles to start the 2nd inning. The Brewers in business.
Yeah, pretty much of a straight-up deal, but 2 completely different players. You know, Rogers and Broxton. Broxton with good speed, tremendous defender. And this is a result of Perdomo's not being able to throw the breaking ball for strikes. I mean, Keon looking for fastball, gets it plenty of the plate and shoots it into right field.
Now the Brewers had an influx of infielders. Felt like Rogers was expendable, and he had a good run at the end of that 2015 season with the Brewers. So the Pirates thinking they needed a 3rd baseman, so they made the deal. Pirates had a ton of outfielders at the time. Broxton was lost in the shuffle, and while it's worked out beautifully for the Brewers, Jason Rogers is still in AAA. He has not been in the big leagues with the Pirates much, while Broxton has thrived here in the majors. You just never know when you're going to hit on a guy. Lewis Brinson up there with 2 on and nobody out. Now a full week in the big leagues for Lewis Brinson. He made his debut last Sunday in Arizona. Friday was a big night for Brinson. He had just 1 hit. That was an infield hit. And then on Friday against Miguel Diaz, his first big league triple. And the hardest hit ball he's had in the major leagues.
Yeah, he can fly around those bases.
Brewers got him in the deal with the Rangers in the Jonathan Lucroy trade. Brinson, a bullet off the foot of the pitcher. Everybody's going to advance. And a base hit for Brinson. And Brock, he is really starting to find the barrel here in his last 2 starts.
Yeah, getting comfortable up there and letting the ball get to him. And there's a mistake by Perdomo. That was an 0-2 pitch. Getting too much of the plate, and he hits a bullet right back through the middle. Getting too much of the plate on a 2-strike pitch. Didn't try and pull it. And you wonder if Perdomo, how badly that's going to hurt him. Right on the bottom of the foot, it looks like. And all hands safe.
Pitching coach Darren Balsley is out, checking on his young hurler, 24-year-old Luis Perdomo. Good for Brenton. He's got his family here, his mother Susie, and I'm sure it's a tough day for him on a Father's Day. Yeah, right off the bottom of the shoe.
Yeah, that's a plastic sole there. That should help him.
If you didn't hear the story yesterday, you weren't watching the game. Brenton's father passed at age 10 to cancer, and I was talking to him yesterday about Father's Day, and you know, the fact that it could be a difficult day. It usually is for him. He goes, it is, but my father left me in great hands, and I want to say Happy Father's Day to my mother,
right,
who acted as my mother and my father, and she did both jobs, and great family support from the uncles who are here as well, and terrific family story for the young Brenton. So here he is, shining on a big league stage today.
You know what's amazing about a lot of the young players in this organization, how classy they are. I mean, they're wise beyond their years, it seems like. You know, 22, 23, 24 years old, and they really have a good sense of themselves.
Here's one of them, the 22-year-old Arcia, up there with the bases loaded, nobody out, and a chance for the Brewers to strike early against the Padres today. Small sample size for Arcia, but a .500 hitter in his 6 months in the big leagues with bases loaded. Little tapper to the mound, coming home. Out there, throwing a first, and a double play. Worst case scenario for the Brewers in that situation.
Yep, the 1-2-3 double play, and that's that two-seam fastball. Perdomo got in the hands of Arcia there, and watch him get jammed down on the trademark a little bit, and that's about as easy a double play as you're going to see. Pitcher to catcher to first, 1-2-3 on the double play.
And to make matters worse for the Brewers, now their pitcher is coming up with runners at second and third. Anybody with a bat in his hands can be dangerous, but the odds are against Jimmy Nelson in a spot like this. Let's see if he can buck the trend.
He has had the ability to flare one over to first base from time to time.
Is that what we're hoping for here?
Absolutely.
That's the goal.
I mean, that's about as much as we can expect.
The label flare. There you go. Is it fair? It is foul. Almost, partner. The crystal ball was just a touch cloudy.
Just a little off. Got to polish her up a little bit.
That would have scored 2 for sure.
Almost.
Nelson has 2 hits this year. 2 for 25. He says, oh my, I have to turn that around next time. There's a lot of velocity on the mound for Nelson to deal with. And he strikes him out on the breaking ball. So that ended quickly. Bases loaded, nobody out. A 1-2-3 double play and a strikeout. And we remain scoreless going to the third. Tigers are coming to bat. Don't forget, today we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. Every home run and strikeout in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. Since June 1st, $3.3 million have been raised in the challenge. And you can make a pledge right now by going to homerunchallenge.org. This program in all, since it began, $45 million. It's been a terrific program for awareness and research. And they picked the right two ball clubs this series. These two teams have combined for 15 home runs in the first two games.
And a fair amount of strikeouts to go with it.
Yeah, the Brewers struck out 19 times yesterday. But that's what we've grown accustomed to. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of home runs, and they're playing exciting baseball, and they're in first place.
Yeah.
In the National League Central Division starting play today, the Brewers have a 2.5 game lead over the Cubs, 4.5 on the Cardinals. Then the Pirates, then the Reds round out the division. Nelson back to work. He's got the pitcher at the plate to start the inning, Perdomo.
Yeah, Brewers second to only the Washington Nationals in home runs in the National League.
Bryce Harper, Ryan Zimmerman and company. Nelson got the double play, the 4-6-3 double play to end the second inning. Gives him the chance to face the pitcher to start the third. And Perdomo takes a strike. I don't know if his heart was completely in it to bunt, but he did show it briefly before he hit the parachute button and bailed. You never know. And that one is right down the heart. Swing and a miss. I'm sure he knows Jimmy Nelson's been known to hit a few.
Yep. Yeah, hang loose in that box.
2-2 to his mound opponent.
Now, there are certain guys that you just really aren't all that comfortable scoring around the bunt against. I would imagine with, you know, Jimmy, the way he can come inside on you, he might be one of those guys.
Another 2-2 offering. He's hanging tough. Perdomo was in the big leagues all last year. He made the jump from single A to the majors. He was a Rule 5 draft pick prior to last season. Originally by the Rockies from the Cardinals, and then the Padres took him in the Rule 5 from the Rockies. There's a called strike 3. So what that meant was Perdomo had to stay in the majors the entire year. He did that, and he earned a spot in the big league rotation this season.
Yeah, he swings the bat pretty well. I mean, in that game that he pitched against Milwaukee and San Diego, had a double and a triple. So he's not a sure out up there at the plate.
One gone. Back to the top of the order. Second time through against Nelson. Here's Córdoba. He's been the shortstop the first two games. Gets the start in left field today. And leading off for San Diego. Jam shot. Arcia's over. Spins. Throw to first. Wow. In time.
Kidding me?
Every day this guy. What a play that was. Orlando Arcia.
You know, just has that sixth sense. When he makes this play, he spins around. He knows exactly where the bag is. Knows exactly how he has to get rid of it based on how hard he's going in toward the outfield. He's just incredible. I mean, he makes this play look so easy, and it is very difficult. I mean, on a lot of different levels. Just so talented, just so natural. The natural ability that this kid shows every day.
Special player. Gold glove potential for sure. The range, the arm, the awareness to spin like that and find your first baseman. It's all instincts for Arcia. Yeah, is he a thrill to watch?
Yeah, he is. And
there aren't many guys you pay to see play defense, but he's starting to trend as one of them.
Yeah, he's something, and he expects himself to make those plays. He's not amazed that he makes those plays, he's really upset with himself when he doesn't.
And he does all of that, makes the dramatic play, and has very few errors for a shortstop. Matter of fact, he leads the majors in chances, so he's getting a lot of activity, and only 8 errors at this point. That's a low number for that many opportunities. Cordero, a swing and a foul back, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I think he's looking in the Padres dugout trying to get Ibar's attention. Not him. He's all about the hitter. 1-2. Got him. Jimmy Nelson with a strikeout to end the inning. Gave him the slider. Orlando Arcia puts another one on the highlight reel, making it look routine. The glove, the spin, the perfect throw. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning, no score.
Here in Milwaukee, bottom of the 3rd inning, and Miami hosts the 88th annual Midsummer Classic. That's Tuesday, July 11th, only on Fox. You can make sure your local stars play a leading role by filling your All-Star Game ballot full of Brewers. Vote up to 5 times a day, 35 times total at brewers.com/vote.
Eric Sogard will lead off for the Crew. Top of the order coming up. Perdomo getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation last inning. Brewers came up empty after 3 straight singles to start the inning, and now Sogard into right field, and it's going to get down and going to get by Renfroe. All the way to the wall it goes. Sogard in with a double. 2 for 2 today for Eric Sogard.
And the Brewers have certainly had their chances to score. Sogard got to second base with nobody out. Brewers not able to plate him, and that looked like more of a changeup. Yeah, Renfroe tried to get it before it hit the grass, but still Sogard only able to get into second base. Took a chance, and it cost him an extra base. Leadoff double.
Now the Brewers already with 5 hits off Perdomo. Eric Thames bounced back to the mound his first time up, and Thames a little bit late. The 2 Erics at the top of the lineup, putting together big numbers. Jonathan Villar went on the disabled list. Eric Sogard essentially became the everyday leadoff hitter and second baseman. And Thames has been sitting in that 2 spot, originally in front of Ryan Braun, but Rock, the numbers are standing up well right now. 18 games these two have been in the lineup together. 11 wins. And Sogard getting on base so often for Thames.
Yeah, those two guys getting on base, one of the big reasons why the Brewers are currently 4th in the National League in runs scored. Not the fact they get on base, Brewers hit home runs. A lot of fun to watch.
Sogard with 3 home runs of the 9 that these two have hit in the lineup together. High slugging percentage, OPS, and the most important stat line, the victories. 4 games over 500 with these two in the lineup. And Thames a big hack on a breaking ball down and in.
He's starting to get a better feel for that breaking pitch, and that's not good news for the Brewer hitters. First couple innings, you just couldn't find the strike zone with that curveball slider combination.
Two-two to Thames. A lead double from Sogard. And Eric takes a ball outside. Didn't miss by much, but a good take by Thames. Those 3 years in Korea, he says what he learned the most, even though he hit a bunch of home runs there, was plate discipline. He saw a lot of off-speed pitches in 3 years in Korea. Averaged over 40 homers a year. 1 year hit 47. Did he go? It's in the dirt, and he's able to check his swing, and it'll be ball 4. So the Brewers again put the first 2 on. Now the heart of the lineup is coming up.
And one of the things he said too about playing over in Korea, the fact that he learned how to lay off breaking pitches that were out of the strike zone. They threw a lot of breaking balls over there, and because of that, he's had that good on-base percentage at 400.
And to answer the question if power numbers in the KBO in Korea translate to the major leagues, the answer is a resounding yes. Already 20 in the perfect ballpark as well, Miller Park, especially now that it's warming up. You get into the summer months, the ball flies here. 2 on, nobody out. Hernan Perez at the plate. Perez bounced to third his first time up. It's been a lot of ground balls in this game already. Even some of the hits have been on the ground. And of course the big double play, the little tapper by Arcia. Ground ball pitchers always have the ability to get out of an inning quickly with the double play ball. One ball, one strike on Perez. Had him fooled on the breaking ball. Now it's 1-2. Hernan just keeps hitting. He's provided a lot of versatility. Did that shake him up there in the peanut gallery?
I think it broke a phone.
Who uses phones anymore?
I don't know. It's like a hard phone. You still have those?
Press row. Our fine media relations staff. It's like a romper room up there today. Young families. That's a way. Give the ball to a kid. Now there's a lesson for our guy out in left field who caught that foul ball.
You had a couple of them there.
Yeah.
And Hank.
It's a good day at the ballpark for that young lady. 2-2 to Perez. Out in front again. Pop up behind home plate. And that slider gets Perez first out of the inning.
Yeah, it's better now, isn't it? Early in the game, had no feel for that breaking ball. Now, all of a sudden, it's been a big pitch for him.
Well, Perdomo knows he's got a shot to get out of the inning. A slow runner in Travis Shaw, but Shaw is the Brewers' top run producer. We've got to be a special Father's Day for him. Can't even imagine what Shaw is experiencing today. I talked to him a bit in the clubhouse before the game. He has had this whirlwind. His daughter was born last week, Ryan, with a heart defect. Already 2 open heart surgeries for this newborn. And she's a fighter, Travis said. She's doing well. She's actually recovering. She's taking to the medication to help her recover, and he feels very fortunate every day that he's with her. And he plans on, as soon as the game's over, heading right over to Children's Hospital of Milwaukee and spending the rest of the evening with his wife and his brand new baby girl.
Yeah, I can't imagine a better way to spend Father's Day, right, with your kid. That's what it's all about.
He did say the outpouring of support he's gotten from this community has blown him away. He and his wife and constant visitors, they've been well taken care of. He's been producing on the field as well. And that ball's hit hard right center field. That's way back. On the run, Cordero, and he runs it down. And now the runners have to retreat. I think Sogard's going to be caught off, and he is, and that is a double play to end the inning. Sogard was sure that was going to bounce off the wall. Instead, it's a base running mistake. And the inning is over, and another promising start to an inning. The Brewers come up empty. Heck of a play by Franchi Cordero, though, at the end of his glove. And that's it on the double play ball. We go to the 4th. Score. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 2nd. Came up empty. 2 on, nobody out in the 3rd. Coming up empty, and this ends up as a double play, but a fine catch by Cordero, and that set the wheels in motion for an easy double play as Sogard had left the bag early.
Yeah, 8-6 to 1. Sogard thinking that ball's off the wall, not sure why. Eddie Cedar was sending it back to second base right away, and an easy double play. Back-to-back innings, the Brewers ended with a double play.
A strike to Will Myers to start the 4th inning. Sogard doesn't make mistakes like that very often. He's as sharp as it gets, but I think he was sure that was going to at least bounce off the wall, if not go out of the ballpark.
You know what it sounded like? That ball was a little bit off the end of the bat, just didn't have that good sound to it, and it hung up there for Cordero enough to be able to make the catch.
So Nelson trying to keep the 0 on the board, facing the middle of this Padres order to start the 4th inning with Myers, the 3-hole hitter, then Solarte, followed by Renfroe. They've got a lot of firepower in their batting order. These young guys are in launch mode in this series. There's a strike right on the edge. Nelson gets the call, and it's 2-2. Myers didn't like that. One of the few players in the big leagues without batting gloves. Old school.
Yeah, Matt Carpenter, the Cardinals doesn't use batting gloves, but yeah, you're right. I mean, not too many.
He's got a lot of tape on the fingers, but no batting gloves.
Helps the calluses.
Hitters will tell you in the off seasons, they'll start taking their swings after a layoff. They'll say, I got to get my hands into hitter shape. Got to build up those calluses, toughen them up. Soft liner into left field. And Brinson is there for out number 1. Final game of the series today. The Brewers welcome the Pirates tomorrow. Don't forget that's a 4-game series, and the final game of the series is now on Fox Sports Wisconsin. I know a lot of the schedules that you might have show that as a non-televised game, but that has been adjusted. So we'll be here Thursday afternoon for the matinee, and we'll get a look at the Pittsburgh Pirates at Miller Park. On the first pitch, big bouncer over to Sogard, and Solarte is retired. 2 big bats to retire in order for Jimmy Nelson.
And Jimmy able to get in on his hands right there. The Brewers tried to do that a couple of times yesterday, but Solarte able to hit a couple of homers. Padres actually hit 3 home runs in extra innings yesterday. It's been an amazing display of power by both teams.
Hunter Renfroe has been one of the best power hitting rookies the Padres have ever had, sitting on 15 home runs, which has set a Padre franchise record for home runs by a rookie before the All-Star break. It had been 14. .15 homers, 35 driven in. But a low OPS for those kind of home run numbers. Combine the on-base percentage and the slugging percentage, he's only at .747. Only getting on base at a .283 clip. So there's a lot of strikeouts. There's a lot of outs. But he can do damage when he connects. There's a strike. 2-1. Three balls and a strike. Hitters count for Renfroe. And he pops it up on a 3-1 pitch. Jimmy Nelson's going to get out of the inning. 1, 2, 3, and he's settled in. Now retiring 7 straight. No score. Brewers are coming to bat. Bottom of the 4th. Happy Father's Day on Fox Sports Wisconsin. A lot of new dads here with the Brewers. Saw Perez, there's Manny Pena, Domingo Santana, and his dad looks just like his dad. Eric Thames and his pop from their days back in the Blue Jays. Look how different Eric looks now.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
He's changed quite a bit. Yeah, Manny Pena was telling a story about his dad. He made him go out and play. Pena was struggling with the game, frustrated, didn't want to play anymore, certainly didn't want to catch anymore, and his dad encouraged him in his own way to continue on, and he says, "You're going to be a big leaguer."
Yeah.
And after a long struggle in the minor leagues, Manny Pena has arrived in a big way this year. And he rolls one to short on the second pitch of the inning. Perdomo picks up his first out.
Yep, every big leaguer, myself included, have, you know, parents to thank and a lot of support. I don't know how many times my father would be out in the sandlot throwing me batting practice. Mom in between games of, you know, a high school game and then maybe, you know, a American Legion game, putting dinner in the back seat while he changed. And you know, every player has a story like that. It might not be mom and dad, it might be a brother, it might be aunts and uncles, friends, but they don't get there by themselves.
Keon Broxton, a big swing and a miss. I say happy Father's Day to my dad Dave and my stepfather Gary, both watching the game on the MLB app down in Texas today.
That was Paco.
Paco is doing great. He says it's a little windy to be playing golf today.
Yeah.
You know, he's kind of skinny now, so the wind blows him around a little bit.
Can't get balanced.
Can't get stable. It's a fun day and a great sports weekend here, and the U.S. Open going on at Erin Hills, and the final round of the U.S. Open, the traditional Father's Day finish at the U.S. Open. That's going to be fun to watch. And a beautiful way to spend it at the ballpark. Maybe a little golf later. Say hello to your dad too, Principal Pete.
Yep, Pete in Pennsylvania. Talked to him today. Finally got the gift that we sent him. Yeah, you had to sign for it. He was never around.
He's a busy guy.
Off and running, 83 years old. Just doesn't want to stay at home.
Busiest retired guy I've ever known.
Yeah.
Broxton in a 2-2 count. No score. The Padres have one hit in this game. That was in the first inning. The Brewers have 5. And the same runs board as Broxton strikes out. Second K for Perdomo.
Starting to get dialed in.
Yeah.
Is Perdomo. This pitch here was one that he was having a difficult time with in the first couple of innings. And this is the kind of breaking ball he had back in San Diego where he struck out 9 Brewers. That was a nasty pitch that day, and he's starting to, you know, get a feel for it again.
Strike to Lewis Brinson. That 9 strikeout game against Milwaukee back on the 15th of May is his career best at this point. The young Perdomo. Brinson turns one around. That is foul. Oh, just missed the line. 0-2 the count. He has such a quick bat. We saw a lot of Brinson in spring training, and you pause the image with the ball, you know, 10 feet from him. It looks like he's beat, like he's gonna foul it off to the right, but does he ever get the hands through? Man, this guy has some kind of bat speed.
Yeah, Jim Gandon would refer to that as buggy whipping that fastball on the inside corner.
And a wave and a miss. He got him with a breaking ball. And a good inning for Perdomo, his best so far. 1, 2, 3 with a couple of punch outs. Look at our showstopper from Major League Baseball. Highlight from Philadelphia, where Paul Goldschmidt, a first inning, 2-run home run, part of a 3-run first inning for the red hot Diamondbacks. Number 16 of the season for one of the great players in the game. That game is currently tied 3-3 as they go to the 5th. Arizona and Philadelphia. Arizona, Colorado, Los Angeles have been the top 3 teams in the National League this year, all residing in the same division, all separated by just 1 game. Right now the Rockies lead that division. Jimmy Nelson back to work, starts his 5th inning. Spangenberg will lead off, then Ibar, then Torrens. Little tapper over is Nelson, bare hands it and fires wildly to first. Spangenberg on his way to second, and he'll make it. That'll be a hit and an error. And the errors continue to stack up a little bit for the Brewers right now. There's been 2 in this game, but possibly could have been a 3rd.
Yeah, such a nice play made in the first inning. Going down the line, bare hands it. That might be an error. I mean, he was there and had plenty of time to get the out, just nowhere close to first base.
We'll see how they score that. The only question is, there's going to be an error. Is it going to be a 2-base error or a hit and an error? So runner at second. Eric Ibar at the plate, the switch hitter. Shadows become a challenge here for the offense. That shadow from the roof creeping out halfway between the mound and the plate. So about halfway to the plate, a pitch ball can disappear sometimes from bright white to in the shade. Runner at second. And a strike in there on Ibar. They will score that officially a single and an error.
Okay.
So give Spangenberg his first hit, infield hit, and then an E1. And Nelson's going to have to work from the stretch with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. What's tougher to hit with shadows like this, breaking balls or fastballs?
You want to stay hard on guys is what you want to do. We used to deal with that all the time when I was with the Angels. We play in twilight a lot. And when you have situations like this where it's sometimes difficult to see, you don't want to do a hitter a favor and by throwing something off speed. But the other way of looking at it,
as Ibar drops one into left center field, this is going to bring in the game's first run. Now the ball is bobbled by Broxton, and it's going to be another error. And San Diego is on top. Well, the Brewers have been very good defensively during this stretch, but not so today. That'll be a single, an RBI, and an E8.
Yep, Aaron throws some bobbles, and Eric Ibar would take that slider that didn't really do a whole lot and just dump it out there into left center. I don't believe that Ibar would have gone to second had Broxton picked it up cleanly. Be another error. RBI and an error.
1-0 San Diego. Here's Luis Torrens now, the Padre catcher.
First real clean single for San Diego today. The other 2 questionable.
Now the only, well, the first hit anyway was Myers' infield hit, little swinging bunt out to Arcia at the shortstop position. That could have gone either way. On the ground, Arcia's over. Well, it took a tricky hop. He gloves it and throws him out. Does advance a runner. So with 1 out, the Padres have a runner at third base with the pitcher Perdomo coming to bat.
You got to be careful with this guy. He can smoke it. He can hit double, triple against the Brewers in San Diego.
Nelson starts him with a breaking ball to get ahead. Perdomo actually has 2 triples this year. Right back to the mound. Runner coming home. Now they've got him in a rundown. Ibar trying to get Perdomo to advance. Well, a lot of throws here. And Nelson finally gets the tag on him. Too many throws for the Brewers defensively allows Perdomo to get to second base.
Yeah, Pini just didn't run him back far enough. I mean, Jimmy Nelson did the right thing. He ran at him, but you don't want the pitcher messing around in those situations. You flip it to the catcher. You make sure he isn't able to score. But right here, Pini gets rid of it too soon. And Ibar does exactly what he has to do, get in the rundown long enough to allow the runner to get to second base. 1-2-5-1 on the putout.
Your ideal scenario is to make just one throw and get the out in a rundown situation. I guess ideally you tag the runner yourself, but that doesn't happen often.
Well, get it out of the pitcher's hands. I mean, that's
for sure.
You got to do that, and then you just got to run the guy back to third base, get him going hard, and then flip it over.
Well, it puts a runner at second. Top of the order now, Alan Cordoba. Even though that is a pitcher at second base, he does run well, as we've chronicled. Cordoba with 2 ground ball outs in this game. On the ground, Sogard's over. Thames retreats, and Nelson gets out of it. But a run scores. A couple of errors in the inning for the Brewers. 1-0 San Diego, bottom 5. Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Kids in the ballpark on a Father's Day in Milwaukee. Great to have you with us. And the youth movement for the Milwaukee Brewers is on. New closer Corey Knebel at 25 years of age. He's the old man of the bunch. Domingo Santana, he's 24. You got Zach Davies now in his second full season at 24. The #1 pitching prospect in the Brewers system has arrived, Josh Hader at 23. The #1 overall prospect, Lewis Brinson, is 23, and one of the best defensive shortstops in the game, Orlando Arcia, at 23 years of age as well. And Arcia has already made another highlight reel play in this game. He'll lead off this 5th inning 1-0 San Diego. Arcia sends one to right. That's going to stay up there for Renfroe. And in fair territory makes a catch for out number 1.
You know what makes you feel old? You know, this year's draft. There was guys drafted that were born after the year 2000. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, some of those high school kids that you know are 17 turning 18.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, is that are you with me? Or?
Oh, I'm totally with you, and you made me feel a little sad right there. I appreciate that on Father's Day. Jimmy Nelson takes a ball high. I mean, you've kind of always been old.
Yeah.
So you're used to it, but I'm just now getting old. So
you're starting to feel it.
Yeah, I'm starting to really understand all that stuff my dad used to tell me when I was growing up. Just wait. Glad to be alive in the good old US of A.
Yeah.
And what a great day to spend a day at Miller Park. Some baseball, and on a beautiful day for baseball. Weather's perfect.
Got big plans at home?
Big, huge.
Big celebration back of the house?
What I'd really like to do is watch the end of the U.S. Open, but
any chance of that?
I don't know. It's tricky because it's Father's Day,
Father's
but you know,
Day, right?
Oh, look out. Yikes. Nelson almost took one off the shins of the Bat Boys. It didn't hit him. That's a fortunate thing for them. That was a rocket.
Are you assuming that we're going to be done by the end of the
Well, no, that's
US
the other part. That's the other part. I'm not assuming anything. You know what happens when you assume?
Oh, yeah.
2-2. Nelson, little roller to third base, going to stay fair. And Jimmy Nelson with an infield hit. Look at those wheels. Hernan Perez with a hand for Jimmy Nelson. His 3rd hit of the season.
Hey, putting the ball in play, though, at the same pitch that he struck out on his last time up. This one stayed up in the zone just enough. Stays fair. No chance for Spangenberg.
Jimmy says, see, it's all about the mechanics. Nice hand from Perez that puts a runner on with 1 out, and Sogard at the plate. As they say, it'll look like a line drive in the box score. I was a little surprised Spangenberg let it roll.
And charge at, maybe make a nice play, get him at first. Jimmy will take it.
See if the Brewers can cash it in. Mechanically speaking, Rock, where are we with this swing?
We're a little bit out in front. You can see right there the back foot actually up in the air, bailing out, but he's able to get enough of it. Blinding speed down to first base.
Even in slow motion, looks like he's going fast.
You know what they say in baseball? It's how many, not how.
All right.
It's not how many.
They're all cliches because they're true. We're getting in a few of them today. It's Father's Day.
Oldies but goodies.
I've heard it's a game of inches. Sogard by inches has a 3-1 count. Sogard has some pop in his bat. He's a little guy, but he can hit him. Has 3 this year here in Milwaukee. Started the year in AAA. And he takes a ball. Here we go. Nelson with the infield hit. Now Sogard walks. And the big bat is coming up. Eric Thames with 2 on and 1 away. Thames has homered in 4 consecutive games. His Powerball home run count is 20. And the 4 consecutive homers, the 2nd time he has done that this season, homering in 4 in a row. And he has the best home run ratio in the National League. He home runs every 10.8 plate appearances.
That'd be nice to see another one get out of the ballpark.
He's insane too. He's got a little bit of a
that was scary.
Craziness.
I mean, they both had the eyes going. He and Arcia.
That's where he ranks. He's in the top 5 in a lot of the major power categories. Big chance here. Can he make it 5 straight games? 2 on, 1 out. Thames ahead of Cody Bellinger of the Dodgers, who has 19. Joey Votto and Ryan Zimmerman also with 19 home runs. Aaron Judge, another rookie like Bellinger, leads all players with home runs in the majors. The Yankees star rookie with 23 home runs. Thames hit 11 in April. Had some hamstring problems. Did not go on the DL, but his legs were bothering him in the month of May. He struggled in the month of May. But he has gotten it together. Bouncing ball. This has a chance to be a double play, and it will be a double play. And again, Perdomo pitches out of a mess. 3 occasions the Brewers have had double plays. Still 1-0. Top of the 6th inning from Miller Park on a Father's Day. Hey, guarantee your seat for the Bucks' 50th anniversary return to the Mecca game. That's coming this fall with our 43-game Super Pass. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com/upcoming events for details. Time now for the Unlimited Baseball Break, brought to you by T-Mobile. And a couple of news and notes from around baseball. Jacob deGrom hit his first career homer today against Washington. Led off the 3rd inning with that home run to tie the game. Chris Bryant's out of the lineup for the 2nd time in the last 3. He's a struggling hitter right now. He's 0 for 8 with 6 strikeouts. And having a down month of June, and the Cubs as a team are having a down season after a World Series title last year. Cubs are up 6-1 currently. Cubs are a game under 500. Brewers are still the only team in the division over 500 at this point. And sitting there in first place on June 18th. Jimmy Nelson facing Franchi Cordero. Will Myers will follow, then Yangervis Solarte. Swing and a miss by Cordero. So far today, Cordero has made the play of the day on a running catch against Travis Shaw. If he doesn't make that play, the Brewers probably score 2 runs. Instead, it ended up as a double play to win the inning. There's a strikeout for Nelson. Up the ladder with a fastball, and Cordero is gone. That's the 5th strikeout for Jimmy Nelson. And the 3rd time he struck out Cordero. That's what it looks like on the 18th of June. So the Brewers hit Father's Day 2.5 up on the Cubs.
Never too early to look at the standings when you're in first place.
We had those things up there like April 8th. Yeah, Brewers have been a great surprise, but as we've said on a few occasions, I think the surprise from outside the bubble of the Brewers or Milwaukee is tempered a little bit by these players, because they believe they should be about 10 to 15 games over 500.
Yeah.
They feel like, Craig Counsell feels like they've given a lot of games away.
Yeah, I don't think the surprise is that the Brewers are 4 games over 500. I think the surprise in the division that the Cubs and Cardinals have not played very well. I think that's where the surprise is, and one of the reasons why, of course, the Brewers are in first place.
Well, and from the manager's perspective, when you have a young roster like this and you look out at this lineup today, you're talking about players who have never been everyday players in these current roles. The longer you can hang around and the more experience these guys get, the better for the Brewers, according to the manager. He likes the fact that the Brewers are in this picture, not playing their greatest baseball. Feels like they have a big upside. There's another strikeout. So Nelson comes back with back-to-back Ks. 6 strikeouts now. He gets Cordero and Myers to start the inning.
And just dealing another high fastball, getting a Padres hitter, Cordero, now Myers, on high fastballs. Right at the top of the strike zone. 95, good velocity for Jimmy today.
Two outs in the 6th. Yangervis Solarte. Shift is on for him. 3 infielders on the right side. Solarte is one of those guys that wants to pull everything and is effective pulling outside pitches. He stands close to the plate. He's got that hook swing. Now look at his hands.
Yeah,
right out over the plate.
Right on the inside corner. Well, he hit a changeup out of the ballpark. It was a changeup that was away from him. Hooked it out of the ballpark to right. Then he took a fastball in on him and hit a home run to right. That was yesterday.
Back inside goes Pena and brushed him back. 2 balls and a strike. Three home runs in the series. He's had 3 hits in the series. They've all gone out. 0 for 2 today. Nelson trying to make this a quick 6th. Pitch count in good shape with a beat up bullpen. Imperative that Nelson keeps it going efficiently here against San Diego. Tough luck run he gave up in the 5th inning. Infield hit and an error started the inning. Another error allowed a runner to second. But even though it was scored an infield hit, it was a play that Nelson could have made, probably would tell you.
And he should have.
He should have made, which would have been the first out. And then who knows. Bouncing ball. Arcia can't get it. Beat the shift that time, did Solarte. And a 2-out single. And a spot where the shift worked against Jimmy Nelson. 6-game hitting streak for Yangervis Solarte.
Yep, every now and again, a guy is going to be able to beat that shift, but you position your defense based on where a guy is normally going to hit the baseball. And this one up the middle to the third base side of the bag, and nobody there. Happens.
There's the man in charge of positioning the infielders, Carlos Subero. Hunter Renfroe now on the ground. There's a man there this time. Up the middle, but Sogard standing in perfect position. You let one in, you take one away. Now he's smiling. You're good, Carlos. Happy Father's Day from our entire crew here at Fox Sports Wisconsin. Craig Counsell and his 2 girls, father of 4. There's Carlos Subero and his boy, a father of 2. And look at that big family. The Espinos and Marcus Hannell, great kids, his 4 kids. Dads are working today. A lot of kids, those kids are here at the ballpark today enjoying their time at Miller Park. We also want to give big shout outs to the fathers of members of our crew. Our producer Brent Reeland, his dad Dwayne, Big Lou Vittorio, our director Mark Vittorio's dad, the Big Vito, and Thane Jones, father of our graphics man Brendan Jones, also Glenn Preston's dad Lauren. We're glad you're with us today. A little fun at the ballpark. The Brewers find themselves down, trying to get on the board. They've had a couple of big chances to score and have not been able to cash in. Back-to-back innings, the Brewers had runners on with nobody out and could not score. Matter of fact, they had bases loaded, nobody out in the second, and came up empty. Perez leads the way, hits one high and deep left field. Did he get it? Cordova's back. He's at the wall. You bet he got it. Home run, Hernan Perez. A towering fly ball that finds its way into the bullpen, and Bernie finds his way onto the slide. All tied at 1 on number 10 from Perez.
And the Brewers are consistent. Every run that they've scored in this series is via the home run ball. That's amazing if you think about it. Another home run for the Brewers on a fastball to Perez. Fastball inside, and able to barrel it up and get the hips open and knock it out of here into the Brewers bullpen. Well done.
Good catch out there by Jared Hughes, and they go to work in the bullpen. Their choreographed clap. That is the 14th consecutive run the Brewers have scored via the home run ball. That is a franchise record. It matches a franchise record.
Amazing, isn't it?
Just incredible. That's the 16th home run of the series combined between these 2 teams.
Go figure. Yeah, Brewers. I'm not surprised the Brewers are hitting home runs. Of course, it's kind of very strange that all of their runs have come with a home run ball. Have not been able to come up with a big hit, and they've had a number of chances, particularly early today.
Shaw gave one a ride back in the 3rd inning. That was that long fly ball to center that Cordero ran down. He just missed it on the bat, or that would have been a home run. That's off the end of the bat. Ranging over is Solarte, and he'll make the play for the first out. All tied at 1. Padres Brewers in the 6th inning. Here comes Manny Pena. Pena hit a game-tying home run on Friday night, 8th inning. Clutch. That set up Thane's heroics and that walk-off home run. Pena had a memorable moment with the pink accents on Mother's Day. That great comeback for the Brewers against the Mets. He hit the decisive home run in that game. One ball, 2 strikes. And that one's deep into left center. Pena's watching this one fly. And there she goes! The Bro Crow on top, 2-1. As Manny Pena goes deep. And a new franchise record. 15 consecutive runs via the homer.
A nice Father's Day present. Well, these guys, something else, I'll tell you. They're never really out of games the way they hit home runs. Goodness.
The gauntlet.
That's now 103 home runs for the Brewers on the season. Only the Nationals have hit more.
What a run. Know how to have some fun at the ballpark. This is something else.
Yeah.
2 home runs in the inning. Perez and Pena. 2-1 Brewers now. Here's Broxton with 1 out.
You wonder why this. You ask yourself why. The bullpen situation is the way it is because every game is close. That was a breaking ball. It was down over the out over the plate, and Pena able to give it a ride over the Brewers bullpen with this one. I mean, when you're in games that are close every single day, I mean, your bullpen's going to get worn out. I mean, it's nobody's fault. And when you're in a position to win games, you want your best relievers to be pitching, and that's been the case for the Brewers just about every game.
Ground ball to short. Ibar backhands it, fires across for the out. Broxton is retired. Now, Craig Counsell was talking to us today about, as a manager, you sit and you look at a series, and ideally, you win 2 out of 3. One of your wins is a blowout, and one of your losses is a blowout.
Yeah,
right?
Meaning 6-7-1.
That way, you can organize your bullpen better. I mean, that never really happens that way, but as a manager, you're looking for that big outburst offensively. And honestly, the other way too, if you're going to lose and you get down early and you're not able to come back, and all of a sudden you give up a few runs, that'll allow you to save your bullpen too. One day always leads to the next.
Yeah.
That's why it's so different in the postseason than the regular season. Postseason, most always you get a day off between games. You certainly get a day off after 2 games in a row. So you're always with your rested bullpen for every playoff game. And a lot of times the teams that make it into the postseason have great bullpens, and bullpens that can cover the wins and the losses, or the down bullpen versus the relievers you use when you're ahead.
Yep.
Brewers are trying to get there. Brenson bounces one off his foot. Ouch.
Took the shin guard right off. Kind of loosen that strap.
Walking it off, getting as much time as he needs. And that looks like it hurts right off the top of the foot. Oh, even with a brace on there. Good thing he had that brace. His mom Susie says,
He'll be all right.
Get back in there, son.
Rub some dirt on it.
He's about due to launch one out of here as well. He hit some titanic home runs in spring training. Long and wiry as he is.
He's got that good leverage just like Broxton.
Well, maybe he's playing a little possum here. It is giving Dean Roscoe, the organ player, a nice moment in the sun here on Father's Day.
Yeah.
Nice going, Dean. 1-2 the count. And he's able to lay off. 2-2. That is a real person playing a real organ, by the way.
Yeah, I've been in there. I've seen him.
2-2. And down he goes. Brenson swings at the breaking ball. Inning is over, but the Brewers get 2 more home runs. They set a franchise record. Perez, his 10th of the year. The Pineapple Express with his 4th. And a quick trip down the slide for Bernie. Brewers now lead it 2-1 as we go to the 7th.
out in front 2-1 as we head to the 7th inning, and today's time of the game winner refills in Custer. It is actually named after General George Custer. At southwest of Stephen Point is Custer. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
That's my favorite name so far.
Custer?
Refills. That too. I like Custer, but refills. You put a D on that, then I'm all in on Custer.
No, the Battle of Little Bighorn happened on June 25th.
It's got an anniversary coming up.
You know what? I should have waited till June 25th to say that.
Yeah, that would have been great. Mark that down for later. Well, Jimmy Nelson pitching with a lead now as we go to the 7th inning. Spangenberg leads off, and he bangs one up the middle. Sogard ranging over, throw to first. Safe. Thames' foot came off the bag. Just a little too much stretch.
Spangenberg looking for his second infield hit.
Spangenberg can really run as well, so Sogard knew he had to hustle that one up.
Yeah, up the middle, momentum going away from first base, but still gives him a good throw. Foot may have been off the bag. Pretty close. Well, if you're Craig Counsell, you challenge this.
I don't know.
That's pretty close. I mean, that'd be worth the risk.
Yeah, I think they're going to take a shot at it here. Craig Counsell asked for a replay.
Well, the ball's in the glove. Question is the toe still on the bag? I mean, I don't think there's any question that the ball beat Spangenberg to the base. Issue is, where's the foot?
Thing is, it was called safe on the field, which means there has to be enough evidence to overturn it. And I'm not sure we had enough there. Trying to get as many angles as we can.
Yeah, Ramon de Jesus has already had one overturned on him at first base.
And I'll give the umpire this. It did look a little awkward. You know, Thames was trying to hold that foot, stretch as long as he can. I tell you, I don't know, Rock. I think he's got his foot on the bag.
Yeah, fit on the edge of the bag, not on top, not on the corner, but on the flat edge. But again, it has to be clear and convincing evidence.
This could be a big play in the game with the leadoff man Spangenberg in this 7th inning. Called safe on the field. And the replay review center in Chelsea, New York, taking over this call now.
I mean, if his foot is off the bag, it is by a millimeter.
By the length of the spike. But again, if he's called out on the field, you know, it'd be the same story. Is there enough evidence to make him safe?
I'm not sure this helps Jimmy Nelson, this long layoff here.
Nelson, some light tossing just to stay loose on the mound. And another long review here. The longer it goes, actually the better it could be for the Brewers, because they are obviously diving in deep. And one of the technology pieces they have available there is to stitch multiple replays together, and they can look at different angles where they will start this on a play like this. And we've been in that replay center. They will stop the frames on 2 or 3 images where the ball hits the glove. So they're going to call it safe, and Counsell's going to lose a challenge the rest of the way. Just didn't seem like there's enough evidence to overturn, and the call stands is the official terminology. And now a man on with nobody out here in the 7th inning, and that's going to draw a visit from Derek Johnson, the pitching coach.
Well, there's nobody getting loose in the bullpen. There are a couple of guys moving around, stretching out. Now, this is Jimmy Nelson's inning, and he has put forth a very nice effort here today, not only managing his pitch count, but working here in the 7th inning with a lead. Exactly what the Brewers needed today.
Based on that reaction by Sogard, I'm guessing the crew chief Paul Immel told him not enough evidence to overturn, and that's what you get when you hear the word stands as the description from the replay. So the call stands. And we play on. So Nelson with a man on. He'll get back in the stretch. Eric Ibar at the plate. 2.5 minutes on the review. There was another review earlier in the game that took 2 minutes. The idea of Major League Baseball, and we might see it as early as next year, they're trying to cut that number down. Don't know the exact number yet, but it's either going to be 90 seconds or 2 minutes. And it'll be a firm count on the clock. And if there's no resolution in that time, then the call will always stand.
And that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't determine that in 90 seconds, I mean, it's too close to call anyway. Just let the play stand. No reason to stand out there for 3 minutes. That was not the spirit of why replay was instituted. It's the obvious calls you want to overturn, not those ones we just saw.
Ball and no strikes on Ibar. There's a good breaking ball on the back door, and strike one. 1-1 the count to the San Diego shortstop. The Padres today have 4 infield hits. 5 hits total. Only 1 has made it to the outfield. That was Ibar's single in the left center in the 5th. It's been the hardest hit ball the Padres have had today against Nelson. And a swing and a miss. 1-2 now on Ibar. Brewers took the lead in the 6th on 2 solo homers. Perez and Pena. One and 2 on the ground. Sogard has only 1 play. And that'll be the first out. It does advance a runner. Ibar bounces out 4-3, second to first, puts Spangenberg at second base. And the tying run is now in scoring position for Luis Torrens.
Yeah, second time that he's been able to get in on the hands of Eric Ibar.
Pitcher spot is due up next. Most certainly we'll have a pinch hitter next for San Diego. Matt Caesar has moved on deck at this point. So you got a couple of position players you know you're going to have to deal with at the plate. Nelson goes to work on Torrens. Ball 1. Nelson's pitch count is in great shape. 86 pitches as he works here with 1 out in the 7th. His longest outing of the year, 8 innings. That was against the Dodgers. He went 8 shutout. He struck out 11 that day. One of his best starts of his career. He's fallen behind 3-0 now on Torrens. Now, a walk is not the worst thing in the world. It does put the go-ahead run on, but it also can set you up for an inning-ending double play opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think you want to walk the number 8 hitter though.
3-0, and Torrens taking all the way, takes strike 1.
Torrens hitting .164.
Well, when you put it like that.
Question is, you want to face the pinch hitter and the leadoff hitter, or this guy and a pinch hitter, right?
Makes more sense. See what he does. 3-1. He lost him. Ball 4. 2 on, first and second, 1 out. And the screws tighten up a little bit here for Jimmy Nelson in the 7th inning.
Yep, and still nothing doing in that Brewers pen. tells you a lot about what the situation is down there today.
So close the book on Perdomo, the pitcher. Pinch hitter is announced. Perdomo goes 6 innings, 2 runs, both earned, 2 solo homers. Yeah, pretty good start for him.
Yeah.
Still has a chance to win this game if San Diego takes the lead in this inning. And then it'll really look like a good start. Right now he's down. Nelson looking for the ground ball. The pinch hitter is Matt Caesar. Yeah, breaking ball strike in there. Jimmy has 2 versions of that curveball. That little get over piece that he throws right there, and then he's got the nasty version that he gets the swings and the misses. He got a generous call on that one. And Caesar is late.
Yeah, the benefit of throwing that first pitch breaking ball for a strike, able to sneak the fastball by him.
Caesar has 1 hit as a pinch hitter for the Padres. That was a home run. Started his year with the Cubs. Traded for a minor leaguer to San Diego. Josh Hader getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. Remember what Craig Counsell told us earlier. His ideal would be Nelson for 7, Hader for 2. And he's close to making that work like he wants.
And get the ground ball. Caesar's grounded into 2 double plays this year. Not too many, but the at-bats have not been that many either. Only 91 plate appearances. That 2-seam fastball. That last pitch 95. So Jimmy still feeling strong.
Big hitter he's facing. Got the top of the order man and Cordoba due next, who's hitless against Nelson. Brewers set up to turn 2. Here's the 0-2 and a late swing. Wow, emergency hack. He just got a piece. That was in and out of the glove of Pena.
Fastball up and in. Did have that inside corner, just did stay alive.
Pena wants another one up there. 0-2 the count. Nelson fires. Fastball. Got him.
Same spot.
That's a great call by Pena. He was so assertive with that, and Nelson with a quick nod and a big fastball to get him for the 2nd out.
Yeah, back-to-back pitches, pretty much the same spot. Now, you know, Manny Pena wanting the fastball because, you know, you have a guy that's behind your fastball, you hang a slider, you're doing him a favor. So good job by Pena to recognize that and really force his pitcher to go with the pitch he wanted.
Sometimes it's all about how you put the fingers down too, right? Your pitcher, if he's in the middle, doesn't know exactly, not saying that was the case, but Pena left no doubt what he wanted. And Nelson executed perfectly. There's a ground ball. Thames is over. He's got it. And Nelson's going to get out of this inning. And a big pump of the fist. 7 strong for Jimmy Nelson. 2-1. The Brewers lead it. Stretch time at Miller Park. And now we turn it over to PA announcer Rob Edwards for Miller Park's presentation of God Bless America. Enjoy.
Bob Kozlowski from the Brewers guest
Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Father's Day at Miller Park. Brewers have a lead 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Davey Nelson's Celebrity Golf Tournament will take place at Kohler, Wisconsin, July 25th and 26th. Congratulations to Davey for his efforts to raise money in support of Brewers Community Foundation and Open Arms. This event has successfully highlighted the importance of giving back for a number of years, and we wish Davey all the best. One of the real great guys in all of baseball.
Yeah.
And he and Craig Kashan will be with you for Brewers Live. Following this one, the Brewers are hoping this is a series win with a victory today.
Davey very active in the community, and he's in charge of the Brewers Alumni Association. So keeping all the former Brewers involved. Hey, Craig Stammen, we saw him on Friday, an inning and 2/3. 24th appearance, at earned run average just a little over 4. Averaging just about a strikeout per innings pitched.
Arcia leads off. This is a spot the Brewers would love to tack on some runs against San Diego. It's a tight one here at Miller Park again. They played 2 extra inning games to start this series. There's a strike to Arcia. Had a notion.
Bullpen quiet. You wonder if Jimmy's going to go back out there. His pitch count's in pretty good shape. He's on the on-deck circle. That's a good indication.
Hader was throwing last inning, has stopped as Nelson gets out of that inning, stranding a runner at second. That's about as animated as you'll see Jimmy Nelson too, walking off the mound. A couple of fist pumps, and
he realizes how important it was for him today to at least pitch 7 innings, and he was able to do that. Not only do that, but with the lead, and his pitch count is in good enough shape where he might be able to go back out there.
Three-two pitch. Arcia down on strikes. 1 away in the 7th inning.
That's a good slider from Stammen.
So Jimmy Nelson will bat here with 1 away. This was his reaction coming off the mound. Yeah, big fist pump, and right here at the end. I don't know what he said, but I think that may have been the moment when he announced he was going back out for the 8th.
Right. This is my game.
Giving the Brewers a big start when they needed it most, with a beat up bullpen that is desperate for a day off. Maybe Jimmy's hitting prowess has encouraged Counsell to let him bat here as well. After his base hit, he actually is now featured in our Wendy's at the plate. Oft reserved for position players, but not on this day. Yeah, swings like that. That's how you get in the Wendy's at the plate.
It's always good when you're when your pitcher is up there for the 3rd time. That means he's having a good day.
He is. He's got the emergency hat going. Look at this. He's just in protect mode right here. Yeah.
You know, I'm not laughing. I've done that.
I think it's great. Why would you not want pitchers to hit? So much fun. Look at that. He's battling up there, giving it all he's got.
Yeah. Let's find a gap somewhere now, Jimmy.
Heck yeah. I mean, the most entertaining moments in a typical game in the National League are when the pitchers actually get hits, like we saw Nelson his last time up. And he's down on strikes.
I think Craig Counsell would just as soon him sit in the dugout.
Yeah, you're right.
As opposed to be out there.
You're right about that.
Hey, on Sunday, July 2nd, the Brewers host the Marlins, and all fans in attendance get a Zach Davies bobblehead, courtesy of Clemens Sausage, featuring the right-hander in the Crew's special Stars and Stripe uniforms. Get your tickets today at Brewers.com. You know, when I read that tomorrow, it'll be a lot better.
Well, it's improvement. Set your expectations low, and then
that's a first for me. I hadn't seen that one.
It was available for preview earlier.
I know. It's my fault.
Eric Sogard takes a strike.
I'm not blaming anybody but me.
Sogard takes a strike. 0-2 the count on Eric, who has 2 hits today. He's walked, been on all 3 times. Stammen with 2 outs in the inning, and a little tapper back to the mound, and this is going to do it in the 7th for Milwaukee. So the Brewers go quietly. We go to the 8th inning. 2-1 Brew Crew with a series on the line. And then he is preparing to come into this game as we go to the 8th. That leads us to our car scoop from the clubhouse. Had a conversation with Craig Counsell before the game and talking about his beat up bullpen. And as Rock mentioned, all of the close games the Brewers have had. There are a number of pitchers down there, Rock, he would like to not use today, including Corey Knebel and Jacob Barnes and Jared Hughes. We'll see how the game dictates. But whatever those pitchers are that won't be available, Jimmy Nelson is wiping out a lot of the stress for the manager.
Yeah, regardless of what happens from this point forward, Jimmy Nelson has done his job today. Outstanding work.
I would imagine Nelson will be allowed to stay on the mound to pitch as long as there are no base runners. He does have Cordero leading off. Will Myers is next. That might be a preferable matchup, huh, for Craig Counsell to have Jimmy face Myers.
After Myers, it's Solarte, who's a switch hitter who does not have a home run as a right-handed batter. So you might see Hader come in for him.
Flip the switch hitter around right-handed. He's in the hold right now. Nelson, through 7 innings, has 7 strikeouts. One ball, 2 strikes on Cordero. Got him. Jimmy Nelson with a breaking ball picks up a strikeout to start the 8th. It is his number 8. Jimmy John's delivery of the game, and Jimmy Nelson's in the spotlight here today, partner.
Yeah, once again throwing a lot of strikes. He's allowed 5 hits, 3 of them infield hits, and you know, when his manager needed him to eat up innings most, I mean, today was the day where Jimmy had to go 6-7 minimum, no matter what the score was going to be. He's able to pitch here in the 8th inning with a 2-1 lead. Outstanding work for Jimmy Nelson today.
Here is Will Myers. He has been efficient today. Pitches by inning. The most he's thrown is 17, which was last inning with a couple of runners on base. Myers lines one to left and a base hit.
Yeah, that could do it for Jimmy. He got the switch hitter Solarte coming up.
Hader certainly ready to come in. He was throwing last inning. Counsell having to make a tough decision here, and he's going to let it ride with Jimmy Nelson.
Yeah, why not? Let your guy finish it up. Finish this inning.
Playing the hunch. See if it works. Double play ball would get him out of the inning. Tying run at first. Solarte sends one deep to right. It is hooking, and it is a foul ball.
My goodness.
Wow. Man. Look at Craig Counsell's reaction here.
Well, I'm thinking that, you know, this is what you want to do. I mean, this is a good confidence builder for Jimmy Nelson. Let him get out of this inning. I mean, you might be putting your young left-hander in a tough spot in this kind of a game, and that one just does hook foul.
Solarte's found the home run stroke in this series. One area that the Brewers have not exploited with Solarte, and you were talking about this yesterday, with that outside corner. He's been getting a lot of inside and down and in pitches that he is launching out of here to right field. Nelson has that power sinker. That's where he's at his best to a left-handed hitter on the outside corner.
Yeah, get it down and away. Let's see if he tries to pull it. He did hit a Chase Anderson changeup away and hooked it out of the ballpark, but a little bit different when you throw something in the mid-90s.
Pena and Jimmy Nelson talking this one over. Pena's done a great job behind the plate. Deserves a lot of credit. I'm sure Jimmy Nelson would be the first to offer up that praise for his catcher. But a dangerous bat who is in a good place at the plate right now. He's hot. He's had 4 hits in the series. 3 of them are home runs. 2 yesterday. 1 out, runner at first. And a ball and a strike on Solarte. And a swing and a miss. He was taking a rip at a homer. Jimmy Nelson put it right by him.
Yeah, and it was right down the middle, too. Look at Jimmy going right there. Not afraid today. That was supposed to be away, but it was right down the middle.
The Brewers starter pitching in the 8th. 1-2 pitch. Bouncing ball. Got a chance to turn it. Sogard. Arcia throwing a first. Double play. Jimmy Nelson gets the double play he was looking for. Inning is over. And the manager rolls the dice. He is through 8, matching his longest outing of the year. 4-6-3 double play. What a reaction by Jimmy Nelson. Think he's fired up?
here today. 8 innings, 1 run. That run coming in an inning where the Brewers committed 2 errors. We'll catch up with him. Craig Counsell all coming up after the ball game. Brewers Live presented by Ascension. What a game, what a series this has been, B.A.
Yes, it has been. And here we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Brewers lead by a run. Eric Thames will lead off. Craig Stammen is back on for his 2nd inning. And Thames, opposite field, it's slicing, and it is going to be caught in left field by Cordova. What a play. Laid out right at the end of his dive. He hauls it in. And it'll be the first out of the inning. Yeah, clean catch. Nice play by Cordova. Thames will remain hitless.
That was a heck of a play out there. That ball gets by him. Thames might end up at third base.
Here's Hernan Perez. Rock and I were able to exact a little revenge on our buddy from Padres television, Mark Grant. Mark likes to come over here to our booth in the 8th inning here at Miller Park and do the jump around bit when they play it in the stands, and he likes to, you know, get physical with us in here.
He beat me up, literally beat me up on Friday.
So he comes in. That's great. That was so funny. There's a ground ball to third.
I'll tell you what, though, he's a great sport, isn't he? I mean, he
Well,
ran back
he
and then
ran
came back and said, I'm going to do it anyway.
He wanted some more.
Yeah.
He came back for more, and then we both got him. It was
best of all time.
I mean,
Mark Grant.
Sometimes you have to, you know, take measures to train the dog, you know, and or in his case, the cat, the mud cat. One of our favorites.
Yeah.
Powerball home run leaderboard. Thames at the top. Shaw, who's at the plate now with 12 on the year. And he breaks his bat. That's going up the middle. That's going to go through for a base hit. So Travis Shaw with a 2-out single.
I tried to lull him into a false sense of security. You know, I was bouncing up when he came coming down like we were going to have a good time together, and then bang.
The thing is,
it's kind of a mess in here now.
He actually injured his calf the other day jumping around on us. Did you know that?
Yeah,
he's playing hurt.
Yeah, he was laying right on me. I mean, you know, doing the old professional wrestling moves.
He was. Oh boy. That's why we love him.
Yeah. Good sport.
Manny Pena. 2 outs in the inning now. Shaw at first.
They were going to have to leave at 20 for the cleanup crew, you know.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
I'll just clean it up. Give me a 20 and I'll clean it up. Pena hit a big homer, gave the Brewers the lead in the 6th. That inning, the Brewers hit 2 solo shots, Perez and Pena. The Brewers are sitting on a franchise record 15 consecutive runs scoring via the home run ball, and 2 today. Perez number 10, Pena number 4. It's going to be interesting here to see what happens in the 9th. Jimmy Nelson gets through the inning.
He's going to go back out there.
And Hader has sat down. So this might be a chance to finish this game for Jimmy Nelson. Craig Counsell desperately needing a start like this, and he's getting some bonus innings from Nelson. And you know the Brewers manager is grinding away over there, hoping for a few more runs. This would be If you're looking for a spot for a 2-run homer, this would be it. That would make that decision a lot easier. Hader has been throwing the last 2 innings. So not sure if Nelson's coming out or not, or Hader may be just ready. 1-2 pitch. Jam shot foul. If Hader does come out, it'll be his first career save opportunity. He is the #1 pitching prospect in the Brewers system. Just arrived to the big leagues last weekend. He made his debut on Saturday. One ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first, Shaw. Manny Pena at the plate. And a check on Shaw. Travis does not run well, but he has 7 stolen bases this year.
He lulls you to sleep, and all of a sudden, when you stop thinking about him, he'll take off.
One and 2 the count. On the ground in the hole. Nice play, Spangenberg, and he'll take the force play at second base. Well, who's it going to be? Jimmy Nelson looks like he's ready to head back to the mound. Can he finish it? Brewers lead it. Wisconsin this afternoon, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Jimmy Nelson is back on the mound to try to finish this one off this afternoon. He has a 2-1 lead going to the top of the 9th. 8 strikeouts in 8 innings. He will face Hunter Renfroe, Corey Spangenberg, and Eric Ibar. Those are the scheduled hitters. Big power hitter coming up in Hunter Renfroe. This is something. Nelson ready to go. This crowd's into it as well. And a first pitch hook is in there for a strike. The last Brewer to throw a complete game was Taylor Youngman 2 years ago, July of 2015, at a 7-1 win in Los Angeles against the Dodgers. Yeah, fastball by him. 0-2 the count. The last Brewer to throw a complete game at Miller Park was Kyle Loesch 3 years ago, June 1st of 2014, in a complete game against the Cubs. The Brewers have not had a complete game hurled against San Diego since Ben Sheets did the trick back in 2008. Those are the superlatives on the distance goers. Jimmy Nelson has never had a complete game in his big league career. That's a called strike 3. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And Nelson rings up Hunter Renfroe to start the inning.
Yeah, Hunter Renfroe looking for a slider, guaranteed, because that pitch gets plenty of the plate. Outer half. And Renfroe knew it right away as soon as that ball passed him. 96 miles an hour. That was pitch number 111.
Most pitches he's ever thrown is 112. Did that against the Padres back in 2015. Like that marathon runner trying to, push to the 26th mile, right? He's not been to the finish line yet. He's 2 outs away. And on a day when the Brewers are probably as thin as they have been all year in their bullpen, Nelson a chance to go the distance. If not, Jacob Barnes has started to throw with Josh Hader. So you have a right-handed and a left-handed option available. Both of them are power pitchers. 2-0 to Spangenberg.
Yeah, still able to get it by him right down the middle on a 2-0 count. Good for Jimmy. Still has good life on that fastball.
Nelson got out of the 7th inning, had a big fist pump. Thought might that be the last inning. It was not. He came out for the 8th, gave up a 1-out single, then got a double play. 2-2 now.
Well, you don't want to leave one down and in. I mean, that slider right here would be somewhat of a dangerous pitch. Spangenberg behind the fastball. Don't want to help him out. You throw the slider, bounce it.
2-2 the count. Pena wants one upstairs. And it's lined right at Thames. That would have been a fair ball. It's a line drive out. 2 outs in the inning, and Nelson is an out away from his first complete game.
Now the Brewers were guarding the line. Good thing, because that made it an easy play for Thames.
Crowd of nearly 35,000 on their feet. Eric Ibar. The last hope for the Padres. And a strike. That first pitch breaking ball strike has been money for Nelson all game.
Yes, it has. It's been a good pitch for him from the first inning on.
116 pitches he's thrown, most ever in a big league game. And that one's pulled foul. It's 0-2. Padres have 1 run on 6 hits. 4 of those hits are infield hits. Nine strikeouts. 0-2 to Ibar. Nelson deals, and he struck him out. Jimmy Nelson goes the distance, and the Brewers win 2-1. They win the series. First time in his career, Nelson a finisher. 9 innings. 10 strikeouts for Jimmy Nelson. What a performance today, partner.
Yeah, you talk about stepping up for your team. I mean, that's an incredible effort by Jimmy Nelson. Bullpen pretty much flat today. They weren't going to be coming in for him, and he realized that. Able to get through 9 innings. Not only get through 9 innings, but 9 solid innings. Complete game victory. The Brewers with a couple of home runs, and Jimmy Nelson, a big story here today.
The kind of performances that aces deliver And as the Brewers are searching for someone to step up as an ace on this rotation, Nelson making a strong case today. 9 innings, 10 punch-outs for Nelson. He missed his career strikeout record by 1. And his first time finishing a game. You got to give the manager a lot of credit too. Craig Counsell, he needed Nelson to finish. He rolled the dice. Yeah, and he gets it.
He grinded over that decision. You could see it in his face last couple of innings. Made the right call, and his pitcher came through for him.
Well, let's hear from Jerry Augustine standing by with Jimmy Nelson.
Jimmy, your first career complete game, how special was it?
Yeah, I mean, it was nice for sure, especially the way it started out. Didn't feel too good with the fastball, but got better as the game went on. D played well, and man, you know, hey, that's all right. I got about 8 more jerseys in there, so we're good.
That's right. It seemed like right from the beginning that you had really good command of all your pitches, throwing the ball, getting ahead of hitters. You really had a good day with throwing all your pitches and getting ahead.
Yeah, I think it's the off-speed stuff really to get him off the fastball. You know, years past I just threw way too many fastballs and didn't command my off-speed. So Manny did a good job back there of our game plan before, carrying that out, making the adjustments when we needed to, putting up a couple big runs, you know, and defense did their job.
It seemed like the one thing you've been working on is that off-speed breaking ball. Today it really paid off for you.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, being able to throw up first pitch for a strike and then being able to expand off of it, you know, and then, you know, basically Manny sees certain things and our catcher sees certain things with the hitters and they adjust off that.
What was your mindset going out for that 9th inning? Your fans were on their feet, everybody excited. You've gone over 100 pitches. What was going through your mind at that time?
Yeah, that was awesome. We have the best fans in baseball here, honestly, and we appreciate you guys coming out for every day. But no, it was awesome for sure. I just had to kind of take a step back and not let the adrenaline get to you, know, not try to overthrow or do too much. Just try to make quality pitches.
Congratulations, just a great outing. Brewers get a big win the series. Congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Well, that is Jimmy Nelson, an absolute gem today against the San Diego Padres when his ball club needed him most. He goes the distance, 9 innings, 10 strikeouts, and a victory here on Father's Day in Milwaukee. Check in with Craig Kashawn. It's time for Brewers Live. Take it away, Craig.
Okay, BA, what a fun weekend it turned out to be, and what an ending. What a gut check for this guy, Jimmy Nelson, to help his team out. First complete game. We'll review it here from Craig Counsell, the rest of the Brew crew. Brewers Live presented by Ascension is on the way.